Did you know using your browser in incognito mode doesn't actually protect your privacy? Take back your privacy with IPVanish VPN. Just one tap and all your data, passwords, communications, browsing history, and more will be instantly protected. IPVanish makes you virtually invisible online. Use IPVanish on all your devices, anytime you go online at home and especially on public Wi-Fi. Get IPVanish now for 70% off a yearly plan with this exclusive offer at ipvanish.com/audio. Did you know using your browser in incognito mode doesn't actually protect your privacy? Take back your privacy with IPVanish VPN. Just one tap and all your data, passwords, communications, browsing history, and more will be instantly protected. IPVanish makes you virtually invisible online. Use IPVanish on all your devices, anytime you go online at home and especially on public Wi-Fi. Get IPVanish now for 70% off a yearly plan with this exclusive offer at ipvanish.com/audio.
The show is brought to you by our generous patrons at patreon.com/Fallout Lorecast.
Robots Radio presents the Fallout Lorecast.
Welcome to the Fallout Lorecast, a place for the Fallout community to come together to explore the boundaries of our knowledge about the world of Fallout. Vault Dwellers, Wastelanders, it is time again for the Fallout Lorecast. Welcome back. We are into New Vegas this month. We've started with that last week, and we are continuing with a look at Goodsprings. We're kind of starting at the front. So if you've played a little bit of New Vegas, it's not too spoilery. I mean, this is the place you start out at. So nothing too crazy on the spoiler side, but we're going to dig into some of the things going on in Goodsprings and some of the individuals that you will meet. And I am your host, Tom or Robots, as usual, with my co-host Lainey or Neos Pandora, who happens to be wearing cat ears on her headphones. How's it going, Lainey?
As you do. As I should.
As you should. As all is right in the world. Ears on headphones. That would, if everybody had ears on headphones, we'd probably be a lot happier. Yeah. So, welcome back, everybody. We are live again at 2 p.m. Eastern on twitch.tv/robotsradio. And we'd love for you guys to come visit us. Welcome, chat. Thanks for being here. So let's dive into Goodsprings. I've restarted a playthrough of New Vegas and had spent some time in Goodsprings. We created a character on stream named Gorp. And he is almost transparently white. He looks like paper white. He's about he kind of like a ghost. He kind of glows. Bright red hair. His face is shaped kind of like a fish. His eyes are really big. And he has a 1, which is the lowest you can go in intelligence and charisma. So he's doing great. He's doing great, but he spent some time in Goodsprings recently, and I tried streaming this last night and it kept crashing, so I'm gonna have to install. I put it on my laptop, got that working with some mods and stuff, so I'm gonna put it back on my desktop and play some more of that in the future. But Lainey, let's talk about Goodsprings. What's going on? Yeah. What's going on in Goodsprings?
What is going on in Goodsprings? Well, quite a bit. But before we get into that, let's talk about what Goodsprings is.
What is a good spring?
What is a good spring? So, Goodsprings is, unsurprisingly, located near a spring. It's a shocker. So this spring is full of mineral deposits.
Wait a minute. Does that mean Good Neighbor is located near a neighbor?
Well, they have neighbors in Good Neighbor.
Okay.
It's like kind of meta.
Well, there you go. Yeah, I guess that is.
There you have it.
Sorry to jump on top of that. So they have minerals too?
Yeah. So that's what springs are nice for, is that, obviously the water, but they can have a lot of mineral deposits. And so you can get things like lead or silver or copper or zinc or gold. This is all stuff that the spring near Goodsprings was known for. And so before it was ever a town, it was a mining settlement for these minerals, unsurprisingly. Mm-hmm. But the town's name comes from a rancher. So separate of the mining completely. This rancher, he was John Good, and he used to take his cattle to the spring back in the day.
There you go. That seems kind of on the nose, doesn't it? Is Good a real last name? Is Good a real last name? I'm asking the Goog. No, it is an English surname. Okay. All right. Yeah. There's a baseball player named Andrew Good. Okay. Art Good is a radio disc jockey. Go on. Thank you, the Good.
So this town was established as a town in the early 1900s. And there was a schoolhouse and a saloon that were built shortly after in 1913.
Mm-hmm.
And that's pretty much the essentials, right? You're a town, you got a school, you got a saloon. What else do you really need?
What else? What else
Probably
do you
lots
really
of
need?
things. But that's what they had. After the Great War, though, it became a ghost town, which is kind of fun, but also very sad.
Mm-hmm.
So for a while, it was just left abandoned, and some of the town still remains abandoned. But it started getting, settled back into re-inhabited, if you will, when the New California Republic decided to start using the spring again, and also to begin mining in the area again, trying to utilize these things that have been left behind, which is it's a good idea, and it turned it back into a town. So it had a new population, which is cool, but unfortunately, the population isn't really growing anymore. If anything, it's getting smaller because of a couple things. Something I called a series of unfortunate events. The
like
first
the
one
book.
being like the book series, multiple books.
So there are children involved.
Children, not really.
Not really.
So the first real issue is that the Long 15 or I-15, right, it's the interstate that leads into Goodsprings, and goes like through. You can follow that interstate through like the whole game. So it got shut down, and if nobody can go on the road, then nobody will see the signs for Goodsprings. And if nobody can see the signs for Goodsprings, no one's going to go to Goodsprings.
Yeah.
Right. So
and there's
just off the bat.
very good reason for people not really traveling on that road anymore, including escaped prisoners and death claws and things like that. So
right. So and that brings me to my next point is that even if the road was open, there's a few issues still. For example, the NCR Correctional Facility prison break. You don't really want to get tangled up in that. And then there's a death claw infestation, like you mentioned, that's been keeping people from getting in there.
So
fortunately,
real quick.
Yeah.
I, in getting my copy of New Vegas to work again, decided with my new level 4 character to head north to, relive some of those scary Deathclaw moments from Goodsprings.
Death Springs.
We'll call it Death Springs now because of the Deathclaw infestation. So one thing I didn't remember about this game is I was wrong last episode. I said like 13 years old. It's 10 years old or 11-ish, almost 11 years old. And the Deathclaw infestation is kind of interesting from a gameplay standpoint, because if you zoom in from a distance, if you see, like, if you get close enough to one where it kind of spawns in the distance, they look like they're not really moving around. And it's probably because of the render distance in the game, right? This is an older game. The render distance is limited. But as you get a little bit closer, they seem to kind of move slowly. And sometimes they move in packs. But once you get within like potential detection distance, they're just like running around. Like I did not recall this, and I don't know if it's maybe a side effect of having a modern processor running a 10-year-old game, because sometimes that changes some, like the frame rate. Like if you have a high frame rate in some of these games, it actually changes like the physics and breaks stuff. I don't know if it's tied to something like frame rate, but the Deathclaws are like hauling it, and they're just kind of like just going back and forth across the countryside really, really quickly. And when they find you, they run up on you really fast. So crazy stuff. I don't remember them being that fast, but maybe they were. I mean, they're definitely scary and hard to fight as a level 4 character. So yeah, don't go up the long 15. Be safe.
I would not recommend it.
And thank you, Mr. Presidente, for gifting all those subs. Awesome. Thank you so much.
So, because of all these awful things going on, the death claws and the prisoners, and the just lack of main road access, they have a pretty hard time trading, which is unfortunate because most of the income in Goodsprings comes from trading. It comes from selling things like weapons or gecko hides, stuff like that.
Right.
And unfortunately, if there's nobody coming in, they can't make a profit. So it's a little rough. And unfortunately, it's not like traders really want to get there anyway. Most of them have started just totally bypassing it and just going to New Vegas or like other cities around. They just ignore it entirely, which is not good.
Yeah.
Yeah. But as for the people who live there with all these terrible things going on around them, they've actually been doing pretty okay. They haven't suffered any direct Deathclaw attacks, right? They just don't go near them, which is nice. But they do have problems with other creatures, such as the geckos, that just cannot get enough of the spring. They want to get that water supply. They want to get that good water. And it means that they're pretty much a constant nuisance for Goodsprings. And not only do they try to attack the people, but a lot of people in Goodsprings are farmers. And so like the general settlers farm, and they farm a lot of Brahmin, but also bighorners, which are like mutated sheep. They got the big horns.
Wait. That's why they're called bighorners? Yes. She's just looking at me like, come on.
So this is Goodsprings. I'm pretty sure that's like, that gives you a pretty good image of what it's, what the vibes are.
So this is actually based on a real city, the real city of Goodsprings, which was founded in the year 1900, exactly 1900. So it is, it is 111 years old at this point, by Joseph Good. So all of that stuff is accurate. This was part of the, it was built around a mining settlement, had to do with the expansion of the railroad into the west, all of that kind of stuff. It has today, actually, well, as of the 2000 census, which seems to be the most recent one I can find, it has a population of 232 people. So whereas Goodsprings in the game, everything's kind of scaled down in these games, right? Has like just a few people in it. The actual town is not that much bigger. 107 households, 63 families. The population density was 155.7 people per square mile. So pretty small. They all kind of live clustered in this one little area. So yeah, and what's also interesting about this is Las Vegas, if you've been to Nevada, is in the southern part of Nevada. Goodsprings is kind of up the northwest side of Nevada. It's not particularly close to Las Vegas. So in the game, it's a lot closer because it's like a 10-minute walk from downtown almost. I mean, maybe not 10 minutes, but like it's very, very close. So there is that. But in these games, they often take real locations and kind of squish them together. About 10 miles off the main highway. Yeah, Low Elves in chat says. But it's, in the real world, it's a bit further away. So just some fun facts that they're pulling some actual content here from, or at least they're using real world stuff for some of the content in the games. So there you go.
It's pretty cool.
Yeah. So
they do that with a lot of the other games too. Of course, it makes sense that they would do that for New Vegas as well.
Right. But it was a different development team, which is what's also interesting. And, I guess it's true, though, because so the team behind New Vegas was a lot of them worked on Fallout 1 and 2. And in Fallout 1 and 2, you have some real locations, like Los Angeles and these kinds of places. But what's cool is when they pull these smaller, lesser known locations into the games, these little details that you otherwise wouldn't necessarily be aware of. That's really cool, especially for people who live in the areas. And we've talked about this on other shows about like Fallout 76 in West Virginia and people like Dave Chaffins who live there and being able to like look out his window and be like, that's in the game. That's in the game. That's really cool. I can't wait. They need to do a Florida one. They need to do a freaking Florida one because that would be amazing. But anyway, well, tell you what, we're moving forward with the rest of the episode and talking about the individuals, all the different people in Goodsprings and some of the details about them. So now is probably a good time to do the middle of the show stuff, and then we'll come back and do the rest of it in just a little bit. It's time for that spring reset. I'm taking a look at everything in my closet and figuring out that, oh no, this absolutely needs to go. And it's about time I replace things so that my clothes aren't older than my 15-year-old. Now you might think that they lasted that long because they were well made, but no, they're in terrible condition. Unlike the new jeans I just got from Quince. Jeans have always been my personal go-to because you can kind of wear them for lots of different things, but maybe they're not your thing. Maybe you're looking for, 100% European linen with insanely soft flow knit activewear fabric. It's definitely getting warmer, and their flow knit activewear is moisture wicking, anti-odor, and soft enough that you'll actually want to wear it every day. So pick out what you want. You can't go wrong because they have prices 50 to 60% less than similar brands. And like I said before, they are high quality. I continue to wear their clothes all the time, and I know that these new jeans are going to last me a lot better than the other things in my wardrobe. And on top of it, they look great. They're so comfortable, and I spent just as much on the jeans that I am now cleaning out of my wardrobe. So if you're looking for something better, just all around better, go check out Quince. So go do it right now. Refresh your wardrobe with Quince. Go to quince.com/falloutlore for free shipping and 365-day returns. Now available in Canada too. Go to quince.com/falloutlore for free shipping and 365-day returns. Quince.com/falloutlore.
Hello there, old chap. Good to see another of General Atomic's finest, still eager to serve.
So, this is the middle of the show. Thank you to all of our patrons. You guys are freaking amazing. I don't think I've ever said it like that before. Freaking amazing. Yeah, I'm mixing it up.
Yeah.
I gotta emote. Here's the thing though. There's when I'm on stage, when I'm in front of people like this, I often have to I have to kind of up my energy a little bit, because I have to be entertaining. But generally, I'm a pretty low key kind of guy. And although I do appreciate things a lot, I tend to not want to emote on others, vomit my feelings. But I have to kind of well it up, I have to stir it up inside.
Maybe I should do the middle of the show. Get it
out there. Okay, so you try it. You try it. Yeah, you're much better at vomiting emotions on other people. So let's try that.
Wow, our patrons, did you know that they're the coolest? Holy smokes, you guys. Patrons these days.
Smokes.
Good patrons.
I don't know that yours was better.
I don't know any of the information you were going to say, so I couldn't say anything else.
Well, it's just the part that says how much we appreciate them, because we really genuinely do. The patrons are a part of what, they're a huge part in us being able to do the show.
Uh-huh. Hi, welcome to the middle of the show. Oh my God, did you hear about our patrons? Wow, those guys. Thank you.
Okay. All right. You guys tell us, who do you want to introduce the middle of the show from now on? Me or Lainey? Which one do you like? Anyway, back to thanking our patrons. Every week we get to thank specifically our tier 5 and tier 6 patrons. And this week, Robob and Justin S, our tier 5 patrons. Thank you so much. And Pie Man is our Liberty Prime tier 6 patron. Liberty Pie, as we've been calling him on the Discord. If you happen to see him around in chat or on the Discord and he's quoting some Liberty Prime quotes to you, he is fully in character. He is living up the good life, being a gigantic murder robot for democracy. So thank you, Pie Man. We really do appreciate it. That is amazing. And everybody else from our tier 1s to our tier 6s, every little bit helps. And if you're interested in helping to support the show, then check out the Patreon, patreon.com/followlorecast. Even tier 1 people get ad-free episodes a day early. There's a whole bunch of other stuff that you can get, including joining us at the end of the month. And you know what? Another thing that I forgot to mention is if you want to help support the show, but you don't have money to spend on Patreon, another way that you can do that very easily, because we stream the show every week, is to use your sub for Twitch, your Twitch Prime sub. You get a free one every month that you get to re-choose automatically. You have to re-up it every month. But if you have Amazon Prime, then you have a Twitch Prime sub that you can use every month, and to jump into the stream, even if we're not here, and drop a sub using that is for free, and it helps support us and support the show. So we would love for that as well. You can use it for my account. You can use it for Lainey's account, Neos Pandora. Either way helps support us. So that's another thing to consider. So thank you to our patrons. Thank you to our supporters on the live stream. Let's move on with the show.
If you have any questions about Nuka World, I'd be delighted to answer them.
All right, back to Goodsprings, Death Springs, as I like to call it. So you mentioned Doc Mitchell, Doc, the guy that the first person you meet. Well, I mean, you do get to watch Benny shoot you in the head. But after that, the first person, once you actually become, like in control of your character, which again is so weird. This idea that like your character existed before you were inhabiting it or them, and then all of a sudden now you're in control. Seems a little weird. It seems like you've been like stepped into somebody else's body. Like I know, but have you really thought about that? Like this idea that like you have now you've wrested control of this person and are now like inhabiting them. It wasn't, they weren't born that way, right?
It would be strange given, if they were a real human being and we were like possessing them.
I know. Well,
they're not real, Dad.
Yeah, I know. Okay. So tell us about the good old Doc.
So the good old Doc, we talked about him a bit last episode, but let's get some good details on who he is really on his own, not in relation to the main character. So Doc Mitchell was originally a vault dweller. He was born in Vault 21. And I guess he's got moles on his butt because he was teased by kids, and they nicknamed him Mole Butt.
I love this. I love this. I love that this is a detail. I love this.
Doc Mitchell. Doc Mole Butt Mitchell.
Good old Doc Mole Butt. Thank you for saving our lives, for rooting around in our brains in order to pull out the pieces of a bullet or two. Mole Butt. That's Mole Butt. We're just going to call you Mole Butt from now on. Out of respect.
He left the vault because everyone in that vault was evicted by Mr. House after Mr. House won some kind of competition with them. I can't remember. It was like they played like a game or something, and they basically were like, if I win, you guys are getting out of here. And then, of course, he won. So they got out of there. Mm-hmm. And Doc Mitchell, because he is a doctor, became like a traveling doctor, which is fun. But he ended up reconnecting with his childhood sweetheart from the vault, and they got married and they settled down in New Vegas. But of course, they wanted to adventure a little more. They wanted to take the world. And so they went to California, or attempted to. And they made it to Goodsprings, where she promptly died because her immune system was very weak because they grew up in a vault. Which makes sense to me.
Yeah.
I'm actually surprised that's not a bigger issue for vault dwellers.
Yeah. I don't know what to say about that, but like, no, that.
It's rough.
Yeah.
So yeah, he makes it to like Goodsprings, or like near Goodsprings, right? And she passes, and he doesn't really want to keep going without her. They were going on this trip to California together. Oh, what does he do now? So he decided that he was going to settle in Goodsprings. He wanted to stay near where she was, and he was a doctor, so he very quickly became the town's doctor, and that's just kind of where he stayed. So I guess it worked out, but it's kind of sad that how he ended up there.
I like how when you start the game, you don't realize that his backstory is so fleshed out, because he doesn't tell you any of this in the first parts of the dialogue.
No.
And it would be probably too much at that time, because you're building your character. You're more worried about like, who am I and where am I going and what's going on in this world.
He just got shot in the head.
Yeah. You're not really worried about like, who is this guy and what's his backstory yet, But
they call you Mole Butt.
Yeah, right. No, I think that's really cool. As with all of these characters, and this is one of the reasons why New Vegas is such a beloved part of the franchise, is that there's almost always more going on with the characters than you think. I don't know how they do this in their design team, but they must have what it looks like the digital equivalent of like one of those crazy, like, you know, like the movies where like the crazy psychopath is like killing people. And so they have like the board with all like the string from one thing to the next, you know, like all the pictures and the string and the notes. Yeah. Like they've got to have the digital equivalent of that for each of these characters, because there's so many things that cross, and I don't know what tool you build that out with, but that's amazing to me.
Yeah, it's pretty neat.
Yeah. All right.
Yeah, for the most part, that's Doc Mitchell's deal.
Yep. All right. So who's next?
So next on the list, I've got Chet. Chet runs the general store. Chet.
Is Chet short for something?
No, that's just a name. Chet. I had a friend named Chet in middle school.
Yeah.
Just Chet.
Just Chet. Yeah, it's a very unique name. It's not super common. Anyway, so who's Chet?
So Chet runs the general store. Right. He knows a lot about weapons. He can teach you about ammo, that sort of thing. And he is very invested in the town. I mean, rightfully so. It's a small town, right? If he runs a shop, he's a pretty big part of the town. But he's a little selfish. He's a little self-centered. Definitely looking out for himself, but I don't know that he's necessarily aware of that is his motivation, because he wants to help the town, right? So he's looking out for the town's best interest, but is it the town's best interest, or is it just his best interest? You don't know. But there's a lot of things that when you enter the town that they're dealing with, and we'll get into that a little bit later, but also I think in the next episode we'll get into that a bit more. But he, a lot of it's like, how do we handle these things? And everyone has different opinions, and he's very opinionated. Right. But at the end of the day, his reasoning for what he believes is right for the town comes down to his belief that the people of Goodsprings are survivors that are not looking for any more trouble. Right? These people have made it this far. They've probably had some difficult pasts, right? And now they're just trying to settle down and be happy.
Settle down, everybody.
Yeah, it's a nice sentiment, Yeah. Unfortunately, Goodsprings isn't really in a good spot to not have any more troubles.
Yeah. Well, that's true. All right. So next up.
Next we got Easy Pete.
Easy Pete. I love that his name is Easy Pete.
Yeah, well, he's a prospector. He used to be a prospector. And he considers himself to be a demolitions expert, like an explosive.
Which is funny to me. Okay, so this is funny to me because the game very clearly explains that he's not a prospector in the sense of 1800s America prospector. Oh, no. He's a prospector in the sense of somebody who goes around and finds leftover loot and items from the old world and acquires them and then either uses them or sells them or whatever. But I love that name prospector, because everything in this game is so built on this Western aesthetic that is carried forward in the game. But then why? I guess sometimes you find a place that you need to blow up in order to get into it. But really? Explosives expert? It would make sense. An actual prospector, somebody whose mines, old prospectors used explosives. They used dynamite to, open the side of a mountain in order to create a mine. But how many things do you need explosives to get into at this point in the history of the world? I don't know. It just seems a little funny, but I guess it makes sense. Maybe he found some buildings that were shut off or collapsed, and he needed to clear the rubble in order to get into the building, that kind of thing. Yeah, it's just a little funny, but we'll go with it.
So, I mean, it's a pretty good backstory for him, right? He just goes around looking for things.
Yeah, and he looks super old. I love his face. It's all wrinkly. Oh yeah, it's so good.
This man has lived a full life.
Yeah. He's been out in the sun for a while.
Yeah.
He looks like the people that you meet in Florida that the beach, the 70-year-old beach people that have been beach people for most of their lives.
Their skin is just red.
Their skin
is red.
It's this brownish red color, and super dry and wrinkled looking because they've just spent their lives on the beach.
It's kind of fun. You're you spent your life on the beach. That's what brought you joy. Good for you.
Yeah. Watch out for the cancer.
Unfortunately, me and Anakin Skywalker have similar thoughts about sand.
Oh God. Okay.
I like water though. Oh, so Easy Pete. He's partially deaf.
Probably from the explosives.
Probably from the explosives, truly. But he is apparently really good at reading people. And so even if he can't totally hear you very well, he's really good at like reading body language and understanding people's motives and stuff like that, which is really interesting.
Mm-hmm.
This guy didn't always live in Goodsprings. He has settled there now. He lost his old home thanks to raiders, of course. Freaking raiders.
Freaking raiders.
But yeah, so he went to Goodsprings because it seemed pretty peaceful. And now he just farms Brahmin and bighorners.
All right.
Nice. And he like hangs out in front of the saloon a lot, right?
Yeah, that's the first place you meet him.
Yeah.
Yep. Or at least it should be the first place you meet him. I don't know what happens if you completely skip out on Goodsprings and just don't come back there.
You can walk out of the town because when you hit like a certain limit, it just initiates the rest of the game, basically, right?
Right.
It like asks you if you want to pick
You can
change any stuff.
You can totally go do all the other quests and then even get in good with the Powder Gangers, which have a lot to do with the Goodsprings stuff you deal with at the beginning of the game, and then come back. So I wonder if all the characters are in different locations if you do that stuff first. But I don't know.
Yeah, no idea.
Yeah. Interesting.
So a lot of the people in Goodsprings have pretty strong opinions about the NCR.
Mm-hmm.
Easy Pete being one of them. Not really liking the manifest destiny like energy they got going on. You know, like they really just want to take over more stuff.
Yeah.
Like, keep expanding. They're not really a huge fan of that, but they recognize, or Easy Pete at least recognizes the benefits that they do bring to the community. You know, keeping people safe. Just, you know, it's some good, some bad. He's not the biggest fan though.
Yeah, and I think that's we've talked about the NCR before. It's one of those things where they're not just good or just bad. They're made up of human beings, and human beings are not just good or just bad. So there is a mix.
Easy Pete even says at one point, he's talking about like something about how it's made up of a lot of decent people, but just because it's got people doesn't mean it's overall like a great thing.
Yeah, any organization is only as good as the people in it.
Right.
Yeah.
So that's Easy Pete. And then we got Sunny Smiles.
Sunny Smiles. Okay, so
Sunny Smiles.
Go ahead with the description, because I've got just go ahead and I'll chime in.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I've got a pretty simple one for Sunny. So town guard, right? Mostly keeping creatures away, mostly geckos. She likes to get their hides and sell them. She'll either sell them to the general store or sell them to traders. And don't you have to go, like, one of the first things you do is like you can go on a little mission with her to like kill some geckos. And she also has a dog named Cheyenne who is trained to attack on command, which basically I would assume that any dog in Fallout is technically trained to attack on command.
Potentially. Yeah.
But yeah, one of the first things that she says, like, when encountering you is like she tells her dog to stand down, basically.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah, so
anyway, what were you gonna say?
She looks like a freaking badass. Like she's got like the cool leather armor. She's got the gun on her back. She's got the attack dog, and then her name is Sunny Smiles. Like
she's a cute guy though.
Like it's just one of those things where oftentimes people end up their names kind of influence their life path. Like if you never name your child Candy unless you want them to grow up as a stripper. Like that's just like, it's true though. Like if you they've done studies on this, like people with certain types of names are more likely to have certain types of careers because of the way that they were perceived throughout life and the social implications of those names. So Sunny Smiles seems like Smiles could be a real last name. Sunny, real first name. It seems like a nickname, but I think that might be her real name. But it seems like the kind of person that you wouldn't expect to be in this position, which is kind of this interesting juxtaposition.
Yeah.
And I keep breathing my drink when I take sips of my drink, and it's not helping to take more sips of my drink.
Good for you.
So, yeah. So, okay,
Maybe
go on.
Stop that. So next we got Trudy. Trudy. So Trudy is the owner of the Prospector Saloon. She's run the bar for 7 years by the time that you meet her. She's considered the town's mother. You know, she kind of looks after everybody. People respect her basically as an informal mayor. She kind of calls the shots around there, which is kind of cool. I like the idea that like she's not the oldest person there. She hasn't been there the longest, but she runs the saloon, and that gives her the authority. You know? Yeah,
right. Well, it's the social center of the town.
Yeah. It's fun. So yeah, I like her a lot. She's pretty easygoing, pretty nice, but not weak. And like, you don't want to underestimate her because she will tell you what's up. She's very assertive. She's not afraid to stand her ground. There was an incident with some Great Khans where they were being a little rowdy in her saloon, and she told them to leave, you know, really stood up to them, and they got mad and accidentally broke her radio. But she got them out of there, and that was a pretty bold thing for her to do, you know, so she can really stand her ground, really give a whacking if she needs to.
Give a whacking.
Bonk her on the head.
Wow. Yeah, I think that's one of the things that you have to be good at if you are a bar owner, is being able to like manage the clientele. And like,
absolutely,
like kick people out if you need to and stand your ground. And it's always good to have that shotgun behind the counter, that kind of thing. Yeah, you have to anticipate people being rowdy, right? Like you cannot own a bar and then just assume everyone will be on their best behavior all the time. No, because they drink alcohol at your. Alcohol, like that's your business is getting people drunk. So yeah, they're going to do dumb stuff. Yeah. Always got to be on your toes. And then if you get some like really terrible people in there, you're getting terrible people drunk in your business. Like you're going to have to deal with that. Right. El Gato Pub just popped in and said, a bar owner always has to be on your toes. Thank you, El Gato Pub. I believe that I'm going to believe what you say about this because I have a feeling you know something about pubs and bars. I don't know how I know that. But yeah. So yeah. Okay. So Trudy, don't mess with her. She runs and you get that kind of feeling. Like that's one of the other things that's cool about this game is the voice acting is really good, even though the graphics are dated. And so much of what the character is conveyed through the voice because the graphics are so dated. Like their facial expressions are very limited. Like the way they look is, you know, they look like a video game character from 10 years ago, but the voices really do convey feelings. And when you meet somebody like Trudy, you get this sense of like, okay, you know your stuff. I'm not going to mess with you. Unless, of course, you're a psychopath and then you just kill everybody. But yeah. Yep. Absolutely. Yeah. That's true. All right. So who's next? I like this next one. I think this next one's interesting. We might have to do a whole episode just on this quote person. Yeah. So yeah, we'll just dip our toes in a little bit. Victor is the next one. He's a Robco Securitron. He's a friendly fella. He's cowboy themed. And I mean, at least at this point in the game, he's cowboy themed. At least, yeah. So he says he's been in Goodsprings since 2266, which means what, like 20 years almost. I think I did that math right. Mm-hmm. And he had an owner that he says used to live in Goodsprings, and he can point out where he used to live, but no longer is there. And Victor has just kind of been hanging out, but doesn't really help or interact with the other residents at all. And so when Victor starts interacting with you, it seems a little strange because why did Victor suddenly take an interest in this stranger that showed up in Goodsprings? Right? It's a little weird. Yeah. Something's going on there. Yeah. You know that he knows some things that he is either intentionally or unintentionally keeping back. Right. And if you haven't played the game, if you're somebody who's, hasn't dived words. Divin. If you haven't divinated into this, he's a Securitron, and Securitrons I don't believe show up in any of the other Bethesda releases. And I think it would be really cool if they did show up in 76 because I like their design. Think of like a Protectron, but instead of like a cone-shaped top of the body, it has a broad-shouldered shape of the body with a big TV on where the face is. And so they can show anything on the face that they want. And what Victor decides to use is a very friendly cartoon looking cowboy, which gives you the sense that like this is overly cute and friendly. There's something about this that's a little bit too friendly. Something else is going on here. And of course that, plays out. Yeah, it's like a TV with arms and legs. Ren in chat says. Yeah.
A very tanky
TV with like arms and legs. A Jetsons looking kind of thing. Yeah. Low elves. Yes. Nekomata says, yeah, he's a creeper. I would love to have this design show up in 76. I mean, it would make sense. It's a Robco robot. Robco exists on both coasts. I think I hope these show up at some point, or they get like they find like a shipment of them and then all of a sudden they're a thing.
Yeah, they're cool robots.
They're cool robots. I believe they have a wheel on the bottom too, right?
Yeah, they just roll around.
Yeah, they don't walk. They just have like a big wheel. Securitron. Look at pictures again. Go ahead.
Right.
Oh, Securitron is an actual real world thing also. Anyway.
What? Huh? What is it in the real world?
It's like a business thing. I don't know. They make electric doors or something. Magnetic locks.
Not nearly as exciting.
Not nearly. Yeah. Big wheel on the big single wheel on the bottom, and then like these like tubular looking arms. Like those, like those 1960s robots from like those space movies where they have like what just looks like a tube for an arm with like the ripples on it. I don't know the best way to describe that. Yeah, what's the word for that? I don't even know what the word for that is.
Kind of like tube. Yeah, what kind of tube is that?
A vent tube. I don't know. I don't know what that is.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyway, enough with the description.
That's Victor.
Yep. And so we'll have to dig into him. Like we've talked about Mr. House on the show with Ken. We did a really long episode about that. Specifically Securitrons and Victor's some of the things that can play out with Victor will be really cool to cover in some future episodes. So who else do we have? We got two more personalities.
These ones kind of go together, and they together I think introduce the Powder Gangers. So I don't have a bit for that because we're going to talk about them in future episodes. So stick around. But first we've got Ringo. Ringo is a trader.
And a beetle.
And a beetle. He kind of got roped into Goodsprings on accident. He was traveling, I think on the I-15, on the long 15.
Probably.
Which is stupid. He should not have been doing that. You are a fool. So he was right. He has his Crimson Caravan. That's the name of the caravan.
Yeah, which is located to the north, past all the Deathclaws.
Yes.
So there's that.
So he passed through Deathclaw territory and then passed through prison escape territory and came across some angry dudes. And basically what happened is he was going his happy way, trying to trade some things, and essentially got mugged, and then fought back, and they didn't like that. So now he's hiding in Goodsprings.
They didn't like it.
They didn't like it.
Stop fighting back at us.
How dare you?
We're going to take your stuff. How dare you get violent?
So
that's how Powder Gangers talk. I'm surprised at you, sir.
So Ringo escaped. His caravan did not, but he escaped, and he's now hiding in the abandoned gas station in Goodsprings. And
so fun.
The Powder Gang is looking for him.
Fun little note. If you travel north on the 15, you can come across a dead caravan Brahmin with some gear on it. Some like you can see all the packages and stuff. At least this is something I noticed on my recent playthrough. I don't know if that was just something that happened. And like at first when I thought about it, when I went past it, I was like, oh, maybe there was a traveler that went by and like a Deathclaw killed it or a Powder Ganger or somebody. But I think that might be tied to Ringo.
Yeah, that might be Ringo's pack.
It might be.
For his caravan. That's fun.
Yeah, I haven't double checked that. I bet somebody like Oxhorn has a video about like Ringo Ringo was traveling on the 15.
Oh, probably.
And he died. Well, he didn't die, but his caravan died. And the remnants of his caravan are right here. Yeah. Is it Cass's? I don't know. I don't know whose it is. Like, there's no like note on it or something that says. But yeah, interesting. Like that's put there for a reason, probably. I didn't see any. Well, I have to go back and look. Mashton is asking if there were ashes. I don't remember seeing the remains of what seemed like other people or anything. It was just the Brahmin, I believe.
Yeah.
So
I'm not sure who Ringo was traveling with, if anyone, which also seems dumb. Please take people with you if you're going with your Brahmin.
Yeah, no, usually they have like a security person at least with them or something, but yeah.
Yeah, who knows?
Who knows?
Freaking Ringo.
Freaking Ringo.
So let's talk about the other side of this situation. The leader of the Powder Gangers is Joe Cobb, and Joe Cobb has quite the history when it comes to gangs and crime. He's been in some other gangs, I think, other than the Powder Gangers, but I don't know any details about those. But I do know that he was previously incarcerated for robbery, arson, and murder, and was thrown in the NCR correctional facility, where when the prison break happened, he skedaddled, and that's when he went and attempted to mug Ringo.
I wonder what order those things happened in: robbery, arson, and murder. Did he like rob somebody and then try to burn their place down and then they killed them accidentally? Or did he murder them, take their stuff, and then leave the burner on the stove? Like
the burner on. Like, oh no.
Which, I don't know. Anyway. So, okay, go on.
So, I mean, about that, I would assume probably he's been doing all three of those things a lot. Maybe. Multiple times. Maybe, yeah. This is a big gang man. What?
Big gang man.
Mob boss, not a mob boss.
Hey, you stop fighting back at us. I'm a big gang man and I have explosives.
But that is his energy. Joe Cobb.
Yeah, Lainey's doing her regular blipping out and coming back thing. That's his energy?
Hello.
I don't remember his energy being like that, but okay. I'll go with you on that.
Just think about him. This he went up to Ringo and his caravan, and he was like, I'm gonna go after this dude and just assume nothing will happen and then get mad when he fights back and then try to get revenge on him. Why is he so invested in Ringo? You know, it's so silly.
You, sir, I will get revenge on you with my boomsticks.
Boomsticks?
Yeah, no, dynamite.
That's other dude.
He's a powder ganger.
He's got his dynamite.
Yeah, but the powder gangers have boomsticks too. But yeah, Easy Pete does have dynamite. You can get dynamite from him later.
Secret boomsticks.
Yes.
Buried under the ground.
Yeah, these are not secret boomsticks. These are unsecret boomsticks. Because the powder gangers all have unsecret boomsticks.
Unsecret boomsticks. Oh man. But yeah, anyway. Joe Cobb is a little jerk. He he's going around all of Goodsprings asking where Ringo is, and everyone's like, we don't know that dude. Why would we tell you anything? And he's like, I'm gonna burn your whole city down. It's just a dude. I don't understand.
Yeah, he's pretty pissed off at everybody.
Fish to fry.
Yeah, well, here's the thing: is that he's not living there. He's just kind of visiting and threatening everybody, and that's the situation you come into right at the beginning. And of course, Ringo's hiding in the gas station, and you go through all the questline stuff. But yeah, Joe Cobb. It's kind of funny. Okay, so. Other thoughts. Why is the leader of the Power Gangers running around doing this? Why doesn't he have somebody go do this for him?
Here's what I think is that it seems like he has had a lot of gang experience in the past. And I assume that probably the Powder Gangers maybe existed right before he got locked up or
I don't think so. But maybe.
And just trying to create them now. Because the options really are either they've existed in the past and now he's trying to reunite with them. Or they didn't exist in the past. He just broke out and now he's creating this gang, which means he doesn't really have very much manpower.
Yeah. Right. I think they were created by the Prison Break, but we're gonna talk about this probably on the next episode. And
yeah, I didn't look a whole bunch into the semantics of the powder games.
Right. And yeah, and I revisited some of this stuff in the game, and I'd already started researching some of this stuff for next week, but I don't remember the origin of it, or if the origin is clearly articulated anywhere. Yeah, we're gonna have to cover that next week, but we'll do some investigative reporting, friends, and we'll come back and let you know next week's episode. Powder Gangers, Fallout New Vegas. So that's it, huh? That's it.
That's it.
That's it. All right. Well, cool. This is fun. I don't know why I just said that. But Goodsprings, it's the first place you visit, and there are a number of other places that you visit. We'll probably cover Powder Gangers next week, and then we'll go from there. Maybe we'll talk about the NCR locations, kind of move through New Vegas. I think that's probably a good way to handle this, is to just kind of move through. If you're interested in joining me while I play through some of New Vegas with Gorp, who I mentioned earlier, then come hang out with me on stream sometimes during the day or the evenings. And yeah, Novak would be fun. Yeah, there's a bunch of stuff in there. Ringo, there's not a whole lot else to go with Ringo, but we can talk a little bit more about that. My name's Ringo and I play the drums. So yeah. Well, what do you got going on lately, Lainey? What do you have to share before we head out?
Well, I recently got my hands on a copy of New Vegas. So I might
I wonder who gave you that.
Also, isn't it like $10 on Steam right now or something?
Yeah, there's a big Bethesda sale. I feel like there's been a big Bethesda sale every other week since like Christmas, but yeah, there's. So
that's my PSA. Go buy New Vegas and play it.
Yeah.
If you haven't yet, it's $10.
$10. It doesn't run great on Windows 10, as I've run into. So the first time I played it, we're fine. The second time I played it, it would crash every time I tried to load my save. And I'm running with no mods, because last time I tried playing New Vegas on stream, I modded it up and I was like, it's going to look amazing. And it did. And then it just wouldn't run anymore. So I was like, okay, I'll just do unmodded, just run it, and didn't work. And then I loaded it. I did some detective work. I've got a board with string, and put my laptop up there and tried to I downloaded it last night for my laptop, which I can play games on, and it didn't work. It had the same exact problem, even though I had not run it on there yet at all. So then I downloaded the NVAC mod, which makes it not crash. And then it worked on the laptop for about, 45 minutes until it ran out of memory. Weird. So use that mod. It should run okay, but autosave and like quick save a lot. F5. Every time you do anything, F5. Because it might just crash for you. Yeah, and then I looked into okay, could I play it on the PS4/PS5? But it was a PS3 game, so probably not, unless you have PS Now. So I don't know. I'm still trying to get through this stuff, trying to make it actually work. So there you go.
Speaking of PlayStation, I guess another video game, little PSA, I guess, is if you guys have a PS3, or if any of you are still playing on a PSP or PS Vita, those stores are closing, and you can no longer get games downloaded from there or update games. And so if you do have one of those consoles and you have games that you would like to continue playing that you do not currently have downloaded from the store, go download them.
Go get them. Stock them up. Not
be able to put this back on your console later, which is very sad, but
time moves on.
Yeah.
And then eventually they reissue them and stuff.
Who Answers is closing.
What's closing?
Who Answers, gone forever.
Oh, it's about time. 7 years ago, they were like, we're going to close this site. And then they just stopped updating it and stuff.
There are better places to ask questions on the internet. But
right. Well, yeah.
Gems there. And, well, of course, people are archiving them. So right. I think all the fun questions you should be able to access through the web archive and the Wayback Machine, whatever.
Yeah, but now we just have to go to Quora. So ask all your weird questions on Quora from now on.
Just go.
Yeah. All right. Well, that's what we got going on lately, guys. Come hang out with us in the future for more fun stuff. Pregnant. Yeah, that's one of the best ones. All the misspellings of pregnant. Yeah, that's good stuff. So yeah, thanks for hanging out, everybody. We'll see you next time. We'll talk about some powder gangers and some explodey sticks. Lainey, see you later. Chat, thanks for being here. And until next time, run your bar like a badass and keep a shotgun behind the counter, because you never know when a great con's going to come in. See you guys later. Bye. To plug into everything else we're doing, check out robotsradio.net. Also, look up the Robots Radio YouTube for videos about Fallout and other things. And check us out on Twitter, twitter.com/robotsradio.
You've been listening to a Robots Radio podcast. Smart shows for interesting people. Check out all the shows at robotsradio.net.